welcome to Beyond the Neon, round 3 or 4, whatever. I'm not real sure. We're just here. Usually Mom and Madison do this, but we got suckered into it to do today. I'm Trevor.
I'm Rusty.
So yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing, but here we are.
Misty told us that we had to answer some questions that people always ask about how we started, signs, and all the messes we get into. So between me and Trevor, we've probably got some pretty good stories.
Yeah, it's all this was a big accident, that's for sure. But yeah.
Trevor was starting to build cars, and Dad was still alive then and had bought him an old Lincoln, and Trevor, he was going to be a car builder, so he gets over there in one little bitty bay out of the rental shops and starts building, and then as he progressed a little, we needed a little more room, so he's pretty slow in there, just kind of piddling in his own little world, and then decides he needs help, and so then we've got to expand. So we end up I decide I'm going to add on and make me a man cave. So Trevor's fired up, and he helps me, and we get everything kind of laid out and started, and well, then I kind of get going, and I decided in my man cave I'm going to do something. I don't know how I want to decorate it. And Misty and Corley were in Amarillo on 6th Street, I think it was, where all the little antique shops are. And she said, I found I think it was a Goodyear sign and something else. And she said, her and Corley called me and said, hey, they need these signs for your man cave. I said, that's cool. So I just get on the line, pay with a credit card, and they bring them home to me. Kind of started the bug then.
Started a sickness.
Well, kind of crazy, but I don't do anything else. I don't golf, hunt, fish, drink. I mean, all I did was work, so I kind of enjoyed it. And so Trevor always helped me hang stuff and do stuff, and we'd added on that small area and got Trevor quite a bit more room and got him going. And then as he progressed, he kind of got more equipment and more guys, and my man cave kind of grew, and then I decided I need a add-on for my man cave, so I put a garage on, which is now the main part of the restaurant with the small stage. I took and started decorating it just as my garage. I had so much stuff, and next thing you know, here we are. It's just exploded over time.
Yeah, so we had like trailers backed into here. I had a car lift just random trailers. I had a car lift where the bar is. There's still holes in the concrete you could see. And then we had a party for
Kent's 50th
birthday party.
And we had 300 and something people, and we had one bathroom.
We owned that one little bathroom, and
figured out we had a problem.
So then Rusty's like, we'll build like a kitchen for us and bathrooms over here off the end, and
So we went full commercial kitchen. I thought, when it rains, me and all my guys out of the construction company, we come in here and hide and cook breakfast and hang out, and the hot rod guys come over here, and we just cook and have a good time and hide out. Cook lunch sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, then after the party, I had some friends use it, and some of Trevor's friends, and we're kind of like, oh yeah, y'all can use it, no problem. And they made a mess. And Misty comes in, she's like, hell no, they're just taking advantage of y'all. So she starts telling them, hey, I'll rent it to you. And we're like, oh, that's cool. So we do a few rentals, and then Trevor's like, I'll help with the rentals.
I get stuck babysitting it.
So he's babysitting and doing the helping serve because you don't want to overserve them and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, dude, we're missing the boat. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And Misty's eyes are rolling. She sees the wheels turning. He goes, we need to get a liquor license. We need to be selling alcohol. And I'm gullible, I'm dumb. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Misty's like, no. So me and Trevor start researching, and we figure out, it's not that bad. We got to have 51% of the revenue.
Yeah.
So Trevor's like, hell,
we'll just
no
make
big
some
deal.
burgers.
So I'm like, hey man, we got the kitchen. We'll just cook a couple days a week for burgers and stuff, and then use the rental. We'll be fine on the 51%. And
I knew it was going to be kind of a shit show. Rusty and my mom have no idea.
We had no idea. We thought the guy comes to us, the kitchen people with
Benny Keith. We go up there.
We talk to him, and we're like, oh yeah, the kitchen, we're good. Y'all need a dishwasher? Nah, we're fine. We got a 3-bay sink. We're good. We had no idea. That guy, Jeremy with
Benny Keith
tells us, oh no, y'all need a dishwasher. We're like, no. So I'm not spending no 30, 40 grand for a dishwasher. And he's like, you can rent it by the month. We're like, huh? So, okay, let's do that. We'll try it. And thank God we got one. Wasn't long we upgraded to a 2-bay one because we had no idea. Trevor didn't want to wash dishes, and I didn't want to wash dishes. So we knew right then we was in trouble.
Yeah, and then, we go to build the bar, and we were just going to build this little bitty bar thing. And
Trevor and his
no one-
friends are sitting there that go to the
Yeah,
bars all the
but
time.
no one, yeah, exactly. But also too, no one really realizes like how big this place actually is compared to like normal restaurants. Like we have a lot of area, and
We
you go
got
to a normal restaurant,
20,000 square foot just where we seat
yeah,
people
and
normally.
it's a lot more than most restaurants. So Angelo and Dylan were here, and they're like, "Oh, dude, we got to make this bar huge. You want to be able to like sit over here and talk to people over here." So we like start taking.
And I'm
off
conserving
and-
area. I thought, we don't need it that big. And they're like, no, you got to have it big.
And now it's still not big enough.
Yeah.
But it works.
It turned out good.
Yeah.
So, and we've had a lot of growing pains, stuff we did not know.
So then after that, when we made this whole little area, hangout area, he added on across the way where the bus barn is now, or what we call the bus
That was
barn.
just my storage building
And it
for
was storage.
junk. And
For a
then
lot of
we
junk.
ended up, we thought, well, we'll just cover between it where the patio is. We can park our cars under there. Well,
Yeah.
that didn't fly very long.
And then I
and-
guess the music stuff all kind of happened like before that. I guess right really before we even opened. I remember.
It was before we opened really much of any.
Yeah,
We'd
we
been
just
at a
put
couple.
this. We just built the stage, and Parker Morrow helped us like get all the sound stuff, and he was like, "Hey, well, we got all the sound stuff. We should have a party." And I
We
think it
wore
was,
Guitar Center out, trying to
Yeah.
figure out what we needed.
we had no clue, obviously, and thankfully Parker helped us get all that stuff situated. But I
And then
remember
Will
like,
came and played.
well, Danny Sadra and I don't know, he had a whole little jam band that played. It was like Casey Maines and there was a pile of them, those guys. But they came and played, and we just had a party like just for the hell of it. But I think Will and them were like, William Clark Green were on the way home from Steamboat, and so they stopped through, or Will did, and he played with them. And I'd been telling Will about. Will had been bothering me about wanting to do a festival. He's like, "Hey, if you know where any lands around, I want to buy some land around town. Blah blah blah." He's like, "I want to build my own little festival." And I was like, "Well, I think I have a place out. We have enough room out here. We can make it happen." Well, when he was here that day, we talked about it, and he was like, "Oh, it'd be perfect." Well, then that was like kind of like,
The seed that was planted.
and then we got drunk and planned this whole thing, and the rest of it out. I think it blew.
They
out
called
one
me and
night.
said they're looking out on the field to where the stage is now was just dirt. There was nothing out there. I just bought it. And they're
Yeah.
like, dude, we can set a stage. We can put this and that. And I'm thinking, oh, Lord, it won't be big. It won't be nothing. No big deal. Next thing I know, it's blown up. What are we, 7 years later and thousands of people?
I think this year was the
mean,
eighth.
it's just
eighth-
crazy.
Was it the 8th year? I don't know. I think it was the 8th year of Cotton Fest.
Yeah.
We skipped a year because of COVID.
But we've raised a lot of good money for a lot of good causes. Can't gripe.
Yeah.
Then,
So-
as we progress, we learn a lot. There's been a lot of redos and change-ups, and what's like in the bus barn, we had kind of petitioned off. You know, when we first started the restaurant, we thought, well, we got to have a small rental. People want, or not really rental, just an area where people can get together and kind of private. So I take part of it. We put up a wall. Next thing you know, we've got crowds that are way bigger. So I scoot the wall down another 30 foot in that 100-foot building. And it just keeps progressing and progressing. And finally, I'm like, hell, just take the damn wall out. I'll build another building out back. So we ended up using the whole bus barn.
Yeah, and then
And-
there was a bar in between the
Yeah,
walls.
there was, between right there where the wall is, where them glass doors are, was a bar. And we'd built that in there, and we used to have the pizza ovens out there, and we'd serve pizza to the patio out the little windows. And
I forgot about that.
yeah, and it was, it's kind of fun. I'd sit out there and we'd cook pizzas and piddle
Yeah.
around and play. And then I told Misty one day, I said, Misty, I want to take this bar and move it to the other wall. And she goes, oh, hell no. And I said, I want to put glass doors here so we can open this all the way. She said, no, no, no. Next thing you know, I got 3 forklifts and all my guys in there. We're unscrewing and bolting and cutting metal, and she's
So
madder than hell at us, and we do it anyway.
that bar top was
Concrete.
is all concrete, so we couldn't just like pick it up with one thing. So we had like 2 forklifts,
3, I
or
think.
3,
on
I
that one.
think, and we had to like all go together in sync to get it turned and moved and move it around to get it put where it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
or where it is now. And then, so it's nothing was ever planned. Everything was just
No.
kind of.
Well,
Oh,
and
we
then
should
even
do
like
this.
behind that stage in there, we needed more bathrooms. We had the ones that were in the bus, and it just
definitely
wasn't
not
enough.
enough.
I mean, there's too many people. So we end up going in there and adding on 16 more foot on the other end, and then Trevor's like, we need a green room. So we just go up top, build a green room and more bathrooms, and we're the add-on kings is all it is. I mean, if
Yeah,
it's,
everything's been added on.
yeah, and it's everything, everywhere. Even like my sign shop on the other end. I mean, I took and moved out my mechanics into another building that was at the end, and Chance's Foam, we moved it out to another building, and then we just put in a whole neon shop. And well, then I run it a little while. Then I had to add on some more for it. I still need more room. We've outgrown everything we've built.
Never ends.
So, and then we get to like all the tables and chairs and storage. We've ended up buying shipping containers just to store stuff in, all the coolers and all of the troughs for all the concerts. We have a whole room back there with just POS systems. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like logistics.
A lot of moving parts that people have no idea what's behind all this. And they have no idea all of the people that in and out and takes to move all this stuff, and just, it's crazy. Who would have ever thought?
Yeah,
some idiots that thought we'd serve a few burgers and a few beers, you know.
We've definitely wore out some forklifts. I know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
definitely.
That's the worst thing, that just moving logistics and getting people to do stuff. It's crazy, and you get guys that a lot of these don't know how to drive a forklift, and we're like, you got to get on and learn. You got to learn now, and they'll learn. And then some of them won't.
We got this one guy, old man Charlie. Does his fair share on running stuff over. He's ran over at least 3 cars.
Post in front of the restaurant.
Yeah,
the best. Wasn't it Charlie that moved the lady in the outhouse?
Oh yeah, Charlie picked up a lady and a little girl in
was
the
moving the
outhouse
porta
one day,
johns.
in the porta johns.
So Charlie just runs over the forklift, just hikes it up, and it's against the door, so they can't open the door. He just starts hiking across the parking lot.
Just goes across the parking lot.
And he can't hear very good, and some lady and a kid's in there screaming and hollering. He sets it down, they come barreling out. And I'm like, oh my Lord, I can't believe he moved that within a minute. And Misty, she got on to him and said, you got to start looking in them, blah, blah, blah. And I did.
He don't look.
So, and then the other day, Andy Keys picked one up with a guy in it.
No, it was Shane Melcher.
Oh, Shane Melcher was, yeah. He picked one up and he said he heard somebody hollering. He looked around like, who's hollering at me? Well, he starts to move and he hears banging and hollering and beating, and it's a guy in the porta john. So he sits it down real quick, and then we all go over there and wait to see who comes out. We want to know if he had a little blue water splashed on him or not.
I'd be so
he come
mad.
out and kind of looked around and hightailed it the other direction. He looked okay though.
Yeah.
Kind of like, man, you never know.
The first big show on the big stage when we did all that mess, and really that thing, we kind of started that during COVID, and it was kind of unknown times of what we're going to get ourselves into. And I mean, we did a lot of that ourselves. I mean, obviously we had the building engineer or whatnot, but Rusty did all the concrete work and all the stuff. And
me and Trevor welded,
we kind of
cut and drilled holes.
And we really just kind of designed it all on our own of how we wanted it to be. And then all the stuff on top.
I told Misty I wanted to do a bridge from the restaurant over to the stage, the second floor. And she said, there's no way, y'all can't do it. So me and Trevor, we start figuring the steel, God dang, labor and all, we're thinking, crap. So me and Todd said, let's start looking on the internet for some bridges. So we found, Todd sent me a link to these 2 big bridges out here. There's 2 pieces, they're 74 by 12. And they're in Canada, or the listing was in Canada. I'm like, crap. So I emailed the guy and said, where are these located? He said, in Houston, Texas. I'm like, really?
Well, that's doable.
And he said, and he got to tell me the story. He said they come off the Sims Bayou. It was a floodplain that used to be a golf course, and that the government had taken all that floodplain over, and they took them down because of liability. They didn't want to maintenance them, and people get on them and get hurt.
But they were they ran lawn tractors.
Yeah, they run all their maintenance and golf carts
and
across for that golf course, one side to the other of the bayou.
Well, there was 3 of them.
And there was 3, and the other one was still in on the ground. It had already been bought, and I tried for a year trying to buy it, and that guy would not sell it. But I ended up working a deal with the trucking company, one of Trevor's buddies, Derek, and 2 or 3 guys, and we ended up getting them in here, and me and Trevor just designed it, built it. We got one ramp a little steep on our engineering, but hey, it's a pretty good drunk test. They come down too fast, they know they can't drive.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, we had crane company come in. They helped us set them up, and we set them right up. And all our boys, we welded them right up.
Yeah, what was it, Cotton Fest? We were still welding handrails on?
Yeah, we were still welding handrails on that.
The second or third Cotton Fest?
I think it was the third Cotton Fest.
We were still out there welding rods.
Because we did 2 Cotton Fests on portable stages, I believe.
It was the third one.
And it was the third one, I think.
Yeah.
I believe. Right?
It was, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we built the ramp for golf carts. Charlie, I talked to him and said, he said, oh, yeah, I'll run that pallet of ice or something up there.
Oh, no, so one day I'm
on the forklift.
I pull in the alley, and I'm getting something out of my truck, and I hear it cricking and cracking. And I'm like, what the hell is that noise? And I turn around, and I see the forklift coming out of the top, and it's just coming down the bridge on the thing. And like that
It's got 2x6s on it.
the part that goes to like
Pearland.
the part that goes from the bridge to the door, we built all that out of I-beams ourselves. Like we didn't,
I mean, it's overbuilt.
it's
but
overbuilt,
still.
but it wasn't like no engineered anything, you know? What's like a 6,000 pound forklift with 2,000 pounds of ice? So you're like 8,000 pounds. He rips it up there. And so I start videoing. I'm like, oh, he's going to eat shit.
Then
Like,
I go
this
look on
is
the
not gonna
cameras.
be
I'm
good.
like, he did.
And so he comes down and he turns the corner, and the brakes aren't that good on that forklift. And I'm
it's
like,
pretty steep.
I was like, you better hold the brakes. And he just come right on down like no big deal. I might have chewed his ass a little bit.
So
after that.
no more forklifts.
But yeah,
on the bridge.
all those boards are just cricking and cracking. I was like, oh,
I don't know how he didn't fall
I don't know how it didn't fall through.
No.
Pretty wild.
That's another Charlie adventure.
Good Charlie story. He's done a lot
Yeah,
of,
they all have.
yeah.
So
But yes,
What's been the most rewarding out of this whole process for you guys?
for me, I like the old and all. You get a guy that's 80 years old comes in here and he sees a sign and he says, you know, I remember I used to go with my granddad to that gas station, the canal or anything, you know, to the wide station, and I would go and I would stand in the seat and get free bubble gum. And you know, if he's 80, that's at least 77, 75 years ago, you know, and he remembers that, and I think it takes them back to a happier time and memories of their grandparents and other family and all. I've had families that come in here and, yeah, I still work for certain station and oil company, and my granddad worked for them, my great-granddad worked for them. Just the history. I like that, and I like people to tell me their stories of why they remember them. That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's something, I like the history of it and the memories.
for me, probably like the music side of things, but I don't know, it's always cool to see kids that played on this stage for nothing or free on the radio show to like selling out something outside or inside even. It's always cool. But then I don't know, it's the whole place. We see it every day, I think, so we don't really realize like how crazy it is. So it's always cool to have someone come through and they're like the wow factor. Like some of the
I'm just always, I pull in here, I think I need more. And people are pull in, they're like, oh my God, look at all this. I'm like, it's kind of slim, you know, and I don't see that.
And
But I see it
always-
every day.
On a venue side of things, it's always cool for like bands that have played all over the country or world or whatever to come through and they're like, man, this is one of our favorite places to play. That's always kind of cool.
And they want to tour, they want to see everything.
They always want to see
They
it
love
all.
it. Yeah.
See all the signs and all this
There's
stuff.
been a few artists that kind of been starstruck by the venue.
Man, there's been several.
Aaron Lewis.
Yeah, Aaron
Dude,
Lewis.
he come through and, I mean, he loved the shops and stuff.
Yeah,
He was taking pictures of everything.
Yeah, the Midland guys.
Steve Aoki or whatever.
Steve
You remember?
Aoki,
He took
he-
pictures on every item out here, every
Yeah.
car, every dinosaur, he was all over everything. There's been some really cool ones.
I don't know. There's been a couple others that have wanted to
Anthony Oliver.
Yeah,
You know, he loved it.
Oliver Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
there's
a
been a
pile of them.
lot of good ones.
It's cool when they like, or they want to check it out or want to see.
Brandon
things.
Coleman,
Yeah.
Red Clay Strays.
Red Clay
My whole
Strays.
camper truck out here. Him and a couple of guys like, dude, that truck running? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, can we drive it? I said, yeah.
Yeah, hop
So I
in.
started aired up. Him and, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them hop in it, and they go run around town for about 30 minutes in that whole camper truck. And they
Yeah.
love it. They come back just happy as ever.
Yeah.
You know, and they thanked me. I'm like, cool. I mean, that's something to do, you know. Middle of the day, they're bored. But they love it, you know, just the adventure of it, something different. So, and it's pretty cool to get to visit with them and realize that they're just like us, but
They're
they
just
have a whole lot
normal
more
people.
talent. But they're
Yeah.
down to earth, most of them are. I mean, every artist that's been through, I mean, I've enjoyed talking to them. I mean, really nice guys. I haven't met one, or I haven't been around one of them that I wouldn't want to talk to again.
Yeah, it was like the Cypress Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys were cool from when the
Ice Cube was great.
show. Ice
Nelly was super
No,
nice.
Yeah, everyone's been pretty cool.
Yeah, all the guys. Cody Johnson, you know, he was
he's
great.
always
He
super
sat back
nice.
there in the back with everybody that night and visited forever. Just super nice guy.
But yeah,
My deal, you get back to what do you think we know we made it? When we have Kid Rock or George Strait, I'll know we made it. That's my 2 on the bucket list. That's 2 that I want. Or even Limp Bizkit, I would take them. You know,
I think Post
I'd do a
Malone
good
would
rock
be,
show.
Post Malone would be cool.
Yeah, Post Malone would be good. We get one of them big acts like that, I would be, or even Ella Langley. You know, we get her on the stage here. I think we
I
made
think
it.
that's pretty doable.
Go through y'all's process on how do y'all decide what artists y'all want
Misty and them call us and say, would they do good? Do y'all like them?
Yeah,
'Cause
so
she has
mom
no
doesn't
idea.
even mom don't even listen to music or don't even know.
She
who
started a
half-
little last few years.
She has started a little, but she don't even know half these
She
people
always
are.
read books.
So she'll call and be like, "Hey, do y'all heard of this band?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're awesome."
She's like,
Or
would they sell good? I'm like, hell yeah.
yeah, so it's all it's. She has no clue some days, so we just kind of wing it. But
She called about Bowling for Soup, and she's like, what is this? I'm like, it's a band.
yeah, they're awesome.
Bowling what? I'm like, yeah, they're good.
But yeah, she has
No idea.
And also too is like the whole music world is a cutthroat snake thing in my eyes, but so it's always try to get who you can put in the offers or whatever, but it's always cool whenever the bands reach out to us, they want to play here, so that's always cool for us on our end at least.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when they say, hey, we want to come back again. You know, like, hey, when are you going to have us again? You know, I always like that. That's pretty cool when you get to visit with them.
Yeah.
We,
That always feels like it's a success if they want to come back, I guess, if that makes sense.
So,
Tell me a little bit about y'all's family dynamic. How does all this work? Who's who?
it's a shit show.
It's a shit show for sure.
We
Well,
just, you know, I mean, we all have ideals, and sometimes mine and Trevor's ideals don't meet Misty's expectations, so we get shot down, and, you
For
know,
those who don't know who Misty is, or
it's my sister, his mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
She, we'll come up with some real, some little scatterbrained ideals, but we think they're pretty cool. And then she's like, did you think of this? Did you think of that? I'm like, oh, hell, I ain't even worried about it no more. And we just walk off.
we just kind of like fly by the seat of our pants too. We'll figure it out. We're just like a figure it out kind of family.
It's like I told her, I want a Ferris wheel. I want a huge, like, 100-foot Ferris wheel with lights and all. Misty's like, no, who's going to run it? What's the insurance? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God dang, I'm still want a Ferris wheel.
She always thinks that she's like our voice of reason most of the
Yeah.
time, and we're like,
We
yeah,
do come up with some pretty stupid ideals, but I still think they're cool.
yeah. But it always depends on what we got going on. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
Pretty simple.
we also all here work. Like mom's here most of the time. Rusty's always here. I'm always like we're always here working and doing stuff.
If
like
something
our,
comes up, we're always here.
our
If
feet
something
are on the
happened, we'll
ground
be
making
here.
stuff happen. Like
And
like-
believe me, there's always something. My favorite is Misty calls me. I just got out of the shower at home, and she calls me. She says, "The shitter stopped up. All the sewer. What are we gonna do? I had to shut the bathrooms. They're going to the bus barn." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Got out of the shower, so I'm like 8 minutes away from home. So I pull up here, and she's out there, and she's got the sewer deal, rodding it and running it down through there, the little old cable deal, and she's going and going. It's dark, and she says, "Hold the damn light." So I'm holding the light, and she's pulling that snake back out, and it slaps her on the forehead. And you know how it's got the little groove, the little black. She has the little black marks from that snake across her forehead, and I'm laughing, and she's just fuming mad at me. So I don't want you to get nothing on you. And she's just mad at me, but I held the light. And I thought, what the hell are we doing out here snaking the damn sewer in the middle of the night?
that's y'all's own fault because y'all think we should do everything
It was
our own.
hilarious. But that's one of my favorites. She was so mad. But she did have a little stink on her forehead. So,
That's hilarious.
it's just stuff like that. I mean, something all the time, somebody will call, "I smell sewer," and we're like, oh shit. So everybody panics. We go flying in, and I can't tell you how many times we've had to call the sewer guys. Oh, Phil Johnson with Johnson Pumping. I'm calling, "Phil, I need a favor." And he's like, "What? Shitter stopped up?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so, I mean, he'll send a truck pretty quick. I mean, it's just something all the time. All the time. Or they'll call, "All the electricity's off in the restaurant." I'm like, oh shit. So we've just, and I think some of it's electric companies shorting us a little. There's too much on their plate out here to be handling as much electricity. And
Well, we have
here
a
we
little
are.
bit
The restaurant will be
going on.
full, and all the electricity goes off. Everything. You're like, oh shit. So here we go. We go to calling and trying to get it all back on, and finding breakers, and it burn up breakers. It's done everything in the world out here. So it's just stuff like that. People have no idea of everything behind that you have to race around and try to get done without nobody really knowing what's going on.
Rusty, what's the logistics of having this much neon
A lot.
in one place? How much? I mean,
A lot of breakers and breaker boxes.
You know, my deal is when we put a few plugs in, it wasn't near enough. We've added breakers, added boxes, added transformers. We've had to change and upgrade, and even just people don't realize neon lasts a long time, but it does have issues, you know, sometimes, especially like when they're low voltage, like we've had from the electric company shorting us. Well, it blows up some of the transformers and stuff. And I mean, I've got a full shop down there, and we're always repairing stuff. Outside, June a year ago, we lost over 100
Hailstorm.
units from the hailstorm. And I mean, I've still hadn't got all them repaired because we're still building and working on other stuff. We work on a few and then stop for a while, work on a few. We're fixed to get back on and get a bunch of it going outside again. So it's just, I mean, it's, the ball's rolling and you just can't stop it. That's the problem.
And we never turn them off.
No.
These things turn on or stay on 24/7.
My deal is, we have people come by here all the time. Even like today, you know, like, well, you're closed today. Why aren't they off? I'm like, well, you never know. We may have a group come through from England. I mean, we get people all over the world come through here and they want to see it. Well, I don't want to go around and turn all the breakers on, and because it'd take you an hour to find all the breakers to turn it on and remember.
Yeah, because nothing's all
But
switches.
we had a guy from Liverpool come do a video here. Where's the other girl from Indonesia or somewhere that come and did a video? I mean, and it's, people want to see it. We've had people from New Zealand, everywhere. And so whenever they come, they're going to come to the full effect. They're not going to have to wait for somebody to go turn all the lights on and hunt this, and it's on. So we just leave them on, let them burn. There's neon signs that have burned for 25, 30 years, never been turned off. You know what I mean? It's proven that it works. So we just leave it on. They always say we compete with Walmart down the street, the electric bill. They always flip a coin to say whose is going to be higher for the month. I'm like, yeah, that's not good. So, but
Well, I have some machines over there that rob some power too, for sure. But yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, Trevor. Talk about your side of things and what exactly do you do here?
Well, I do a little bit of everything, but so I have a hot rod shop next door. It's Rev Limit Customs, and I started that officially, I guess, like in 2012 is what the paperwork says. But yeah, so I started building cars, messing with stuff, and then hired a couple guys, and now I've been in and out of several, but Ryan is like one of my main dudes that's been with me forever, and yeah, I have a whole crew: Harrison, Kyle, a couple others, Chuck. But I have two shops out back. The shop right here, that's next door, and a lot of people just look in the glass.
Funny thing is, when the restaurant opened, they'd be banging and hammering on stuff in there, and everybody's like, "What are they working on? We want to see. What are they building?" And and you have to take them around outside, go back in to show them. And I walked to them and said, "I'm gonna put windows right." They're like, "Oh hell no, you ain't putting no windows."
Yeah, so one day Rusty's cut a hole in the wall and we had a glass door. So for a while, it was like the fishbowl effect.
Yeah,
and like
people just standing there holding the beer, watching them
standing
drinking.
there watching the beer, like we're trying to work or do something.
And now they're like, we're all right. You know,
Yeah.
they can walk right in, get Coke or lunch or whatever, walk right back out.
You gotta make sure you weren't like picking your nose or
kinda had
like
it
your
now.
crack's not hanging out or something.
Yeah.
But that's
I told them they
just
need to
like,
break
now
out and
it's just
song
like
and
whatever.
dance every once in a while, put on a show, but they wouldn't do it.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
there's like that, but a lot of people just think that that's all we have right there. But like,
there's
if you go
goals
on through,
out
there's
back.
like a machine shop, some CNC machines, and then
Big paint.
I got a huge paint booth. It's like a 50-foot paint booth, and then in the back I have two shops. One's like kind of sanding, where we do like all body work and stuff, and the other one's mechanic shop where everything's kind of clean. But yeah, and I give several tours away, or if people ask, I'll show them around. Not all the time, but most of the time, if someone's here to do with it. But
So what came first, the car show culture or the concerts? Because I found out about Cook's Garage from my cousin Russell James bringing out motorcycles. That was about 2016.
yeah, so that was like 2017. We did the first one,
Yeah.
I believe. So me and Russell have been friends for a long time. But yeah, we
Well, Trevor, was we open when we had the first car show?
we just opened. Like we
Just
opened
opened
when
in
we
that
did the
April.
first. Like that was like our
Yeah.
grand opening.
Trevor wanted to do a car show, and so we thought, okay, so here we go. We just set it up and do it out in the parking lot. And it
Yeah.
really turned out good.
And so we've done car shows ever since
Yeah, 2 a year
March of 17 is what we've always done. We do 2 a year.
Yeah.
We do a pre-63 one. It's called the West Texas Roundup, and then we do one in the fall. It's called just the
Roundup.
Cook's Garage Showdown.
Oh, sure. And everybody always asks Trevor why 63 and older, and we always tell them it's because we don't want the Mustangs here.
Yeah, like the
They
1963.
get mad.
63 and older is like more of a hot rod stuff. So I was trying to make it like more of an old school hot rod show 'cause with all the signs and all the stuff. So that's just, and it's been a cool thing to do every year. And then we just did this Tejas Truck Fest thing. That was a new thing. I think we're
Turned
gonna
out good.
try to do that again. But yeah, the car shows kind of started first, but the music thing was always like an idea in my head because you go around town, like everyone's playing music, in bars, restaurants, and so I just thought like, hey, when we open the restaurant, we'll do like music every night and pay like acoustic guys to come in and just play like no big deal. And we had some full bands in here a few times, but it's too loud to like eat dinner and have a full band. It gets pretty rowdy. So we just do acoustic stuff in here, and it's just
And I like it because it's kind of, you know, they're singing and playing still, and then you got families and their little kids get exposed to live music.
Yeah.
And you'll see the kids dancing around. I mean, it exposes them, kind of gets the seed planted for them about music and all. And I think the kids and the families enjoy it just because the kids get to experience it and all. I like it because it exposes it.
So car shows were first, and we did live music on those and stuff, and then we started doing the live music in here, and then obviously me and Will's Cotton Fest situation like basically expanded us into doing shows like all the time out, and we did a bunch of shows in the parking lot.
Well, during COVID,
We had
the
shows.
we'd been renting a stage, and we did shows. We did what they told us to by all their guidelines, and you know, the artists really thanked us, you know, because they're like some of them said, we hadn't worked anywhere. We can't find anywhere, nobody. So
No
we
one
did
would let
what
'em
our
play.
governor told us. We kept 6 foot apart, 10 together, seated, and we did everything we could do to keep it right. And we had tons of concerts. We just went and bought our own portable stage. We was renting one so much. But we was the only venue that was kind of pushing the envelope to try to do something. But our people needed to work, and the bands, it's like they said, we have nowhere. They were so happy to play. I mean,
And
it helped them. It helped us.
We pissed off a lot of people downtown. They turned us in like left and right, which they know who they are, is what it is. But it's
Well, I mean, they was in the city limits. We're in the county.
But you know, they would call us, the TABC would call us or whatever,
Super spreaders.
and Mom would just fire back with all these pictures because she would be out there with the camera like, look, we are doing everything we're supposed to be doing just so
And
we wouldn't get in
TABC
trouble.
would plant seeds here all the time, and they would call and say, well, we had reports. Misty goes, well, I was there. And they go, we know. We was there. You're okay. We just wanted to tell you that you had a report, but
People
you're
are
okay.
always like trying, but that's just like with anybody with success that you got haters and people are gonna like try to bust you one way or the other so you're not doing as good as you are. But you know how that is.
And we've got a lot of other places that we can work together with. And, you know, I mean, we have a lot of different restaurants and stuff that we talk to and all. I mean, everybody gets along good. Hey, we're happy for them to do good, and they're happy for us.
And like
that's
at the
what
end
we
of the
like.
day is it's a busy town. Like I go,
Lubbock's growing.
I go spend money all over town, different
Yeah.
restaurants and places. So it's not like,
Yeah.
you know.
And we still, it amazes me, you know, sometimes somebody will see you and they see your shirt, Cook's Garage. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, where's that at? And I'm like, where you been hiding? You know?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, go out there and eat. And then I'll go back. It's usually a store or restaurant. They're like, dude, we did go out there. We love it. You know, we had no idea. I mean, it's just amazing that they just hadn't opened their horizons to go into the county. Everybody stays right in the city. They don't realize, but I mean, we're not even, what, a mile and a half from the city limits. And people think, oh, Cook's Garage, it's way down to Hoka Highway. It's not. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
really
I
on
mean-
the edge of town. Nowadays, we're kind of getting a little closer.
Yeah.
So,
Has there ever been a moment for you guys where you're like, we're done, let's go sell insurance or something?
yeah, when I'm out there in the middle of the night snaking the sewer, or the toilets are stopped up overrunning, I'm thinking, what the hell are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Not really. Like everything's like, honestly, it's just been one of those things that's never ceased to like, it's always like, oh,
It's-
wow.
It's fun to have built something though that, you know, I mean, people will see, and it's a destination. That's what I enjoy about it. People want to come here,
Yeah, I think for Cotton Fest, we had like 35 states
buy tickets.
buy tickets. So, I mean, that's like
It's kind of
a
crazy.
win in itself, and it's pretty crazy, but
And most, you know, I get people come through all the time, and the guys will message me, hey, we're going to be through there. Are you around? I said, tell me when, and I'll make sure that I'm there, you know, and I'll give them tours and show them. I mean, they're just fascinated. But they come and they want to know what's going on. They've seen it online, and social media is just ridiculous. I mean, it
Yeah.
exposes you to so much nowadays. And everybody, they'll start messaging me, friends that, you know, sign guys from all over the country. And I have them come from everywhere, you know, and they'll come and hang out all day and check it out. And it's just fun to kind of show them everything. And I like to learn what they know, you know, and they'll tell you history on some of the stuff that I had no idea. And I enjoy that. So,
yeah, that's what's cool too about all these signs. Like everything has a story. Rusty, he's gonna have to like write a book about it one day because people ask me all the time. I'm like, I have no idea. You have to ask Rusty because
one of my favorite is a guy had sent me a sign, a picture of a Holiday Motel in Cannon City, Colorado. And so I finally get a hold of the lady and ask her, you know, about the sign. She says, yeah, it's for sale. She says, I'm selling the motel and all, and I want to sell it. So I work a deal with her on the phone, and me and Trevor and Sheehan load up one morning about 4 a.m. and head to Cannon City, Colorado. And we get there, and we rent a SkyTrack like 8 blocks away and drive it down there. And we get there, I'm talking to the lady and all, and I asked her why, I knew she didn't want to sell it for a long time is what the guy was telling me. And then finally he talked to her and she'd sell it. And so I was talking to her and she said, yeah, she said, I turned it over a few years ago to my nephew and I'd live about 30 miles away. And she says, I get a call that the police are here and they need me there now. The property's still in my name. And so she goes, oh, kind of panicked. She's quite a bit older lady. And she gets there and the handcuffs are on the nephew and all the cops are everywhere. And come to find out that he's going to jail because he'd been running hookers and cocaine out of the motel. And you could tell it was really in bad shape. So she decided she was going to sell it to Kroger. So that's when she decided that she'd sell the sign. And the guy called me and said, hey, you want this sign? And so we worked a deal. I paid her. We cut the sign down and come home.
Yeah, we were out there hanging on with a torch and a SkyTrack. It was a little sketchy. People were driving by wondering what we were doing.
Yeah, and one of the newspaper guys come and filmed it going down. It was so iconic and all. And then they did a big article on it and all, how it had been there for so many years. And
what's some other iconic signs you collected over the years?
That fish right there in the truck, El Fish, it come out of Hammond, Indiana, originally off the building. And the guy, everything I can Google and find is his last name was Fish and his wife's name was Lotta. And that was like 1886 when he named it. And so he always called her El because he didn't think a lot of fish sounded good. So he called her El Fish. And so that's why they named the furniture company El, is what I found on the internet out of all the Googling. That's the only thing I can find. But this sign was laying on the ground in an alley behind the building in Hammond. And a guy pulled up and asked, what are you going to do with that? And they said, I don't know. They'd done scrapped the furniture part that was under it that was like 40 foot tall. They scrapped it. And he bought the fish and they wouldn't tell me how much he paid for it. And so then he moved in the mid to late 90s to Roanoke, Tennessee, right below Jamestown. And that's where it had been sitting for years. And a friend of mine out of Illinois, he had been chasing the sign for years. And it finally got to where he said, I'm not going to pay what the guy wants. So he cut me in on the deal and said, hey, I know where this sign is. Let's see if we can get it bought. So I finally got it bought and I paid more than I wanted to for it. But so here I go, and he'd put it in that old Forest Service truck, and it sat in there for years. He used to drive it back and forth on the highway out there from front of property to back of property. He had shirts made with El Fish on them, and everybody knew it was kind of iconic on that road going to Jamestown. And so I go and I just winch it on the trailer, truck and all, and I haul it home together. Everywhere I could not get out of a gas station. Everybody wanted to know about the fish, take pictures with it. But when I got it home, we redid it, and everybody now, though, it's one of my favorite out of probably about 5 favorite here. But the history on it, and I've got pictures of it on the building and everything, I think that's pretty interesting that fish had lived that long.
That and like the Palomino Motel one, was one of the first big ones.
That's the first big neon I ever had done.
First big one that we
And what's funny is Rebecca that works in the neon shop, she did it in her garage at home, did the glass on it just over a period of a couple of months back and forth.
But that one would come out of Sweetwater. They cut it down. And supposedly, like, Elvis had stayed there in the 50s.
They said Elvis stayed
in Sweetwater.
When he played in the high school gym, he stayed there in the 50s.
But everything, that's what's cool. Everything has a somewhat of a story. I mean, not everything, but some of the ones.
Well, the San Antonio Light, the big tall one up in the front, it was on Broadway there in San Antonio from like the 40s till early 90s when they took it down. It was a newspaper. And they said the fire department took it down as a training deal or something when they took it down, and the guy had put it in a building, and a clean out guy found it. The guy said, what are you going to do with all that junk in that building? He said, I don't care. I got it rented. You can have it. Well, that sign was in the building, and that's who the guy I bought it from that got it. So, I mean, it's just crazy the story on some of these signs, where they go and where they actually end up in the end.
And some of them are like never been hung up too, like that Pontiac sign, I think. Didn't it have like the wrong colors on it or something?
It was supposed to be one that was culled out and disposed of and thrown away, but it had a little bit of overlay on the white and the red, and you could kind of see it through the blue. And they make mistakes, they said all the time on the porcelain. If it's wrong, they come through and inspect them. And I was talking to a guy the other day that worked at a big neon shop or a porcelain shop up in Ohio or somewhere years ago. And he said they may have a whole stack of stuff that the whoever the advertising company was that bought it all went through and said, no, no, no.
Yeah, they
so
would
they'd
turn it
shell
away.
out. And that was one of those that was supposed to have been destroyed and wasn't.
And so they just get stuck in a barn somewhere
When they
for
mess
years.
up on a penny, the penny is more valuable.
Right.
Is it the same case? for
I feel like it
the
is. Yeah. I feel like the errors are worth more money. So,
My favorite sign is the Mercury above the bar. I think it's cool, double sided, hangs out
Yeah,
over
the
the
guy on
bar.
front.
That one's been here for a long time.
yeah. I bought it down by Waco. A guy had it.
But I don't know, there's a bunch of cool signs though.
Where's the furthest you have to go for a sign?
Oh, man. I've been from Auburn, Washington, all the way to New Jersey. Been up to let's see, was that Minot, North Dakota? I've been plumb up to Buell, Minnesota.
He's been all over.
I've
the
been
place.
all up into Michigan. I mean, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I mean,
My number one question is, everybody says, well, have the American pickers ever been here?
Yeah,
Robbie
Robert,
has.
Robert
which is
has.
Mike's brother. Me and Robbie talk all the time. Robbie's a great guy. He loves wheeling and dealing. And here a while back, there's a save gas sign out here. And I was kind of, another guy knew the guy that got it down. And I was negotiating, trying to get it bought. Next thing you know, the guy said, Robbie bought it. I'm like, God. So I had to call Robbie. So I know Robbie stuck me on a little profit on it, but I ended up buying it from Robbie. So I go to
Robbie's-
his place up in Bettendorf, and it's January, February, cold. They just had like 10 inches of snow the week before. So Robbie said, oh, I can just stay in the apartment at the bottom of my shop, you know. And he said, I got the heaters on, it's good. Well, I get there, I don't know, 9 or 10 at night, it's cold. Well, I go in the back door where he tells me to go in. I go down there, and I think Robbie forgot heat rises. It was so cold in that apartment in the bottom. I slept with my clothes on, and I slept under every blanket I could find. It was so cold. But then Robbie comes, gets me, we go eat breakfast the next morning, and we're out there, and he's got this little electric forklift, and I'm thinking, oh, Lord. And this sign's big. So we're out there with that little forklift out there, and it's cold and snow and ice, and we're out there tying all that down. It's 20 degrees or something like that. And Robbie's right out there with me, just putting screws in and 90 miles an hour. So
He's very cool.
He's like me. He likes the thrill of finding and fixing and either passing it on or putting it up. That's,
Yeah, and he's been here several times. He'll come in, hang
Yeah.
out for a couple of days, go
Yeah.
eat dinner, whatever. He's super
he's
awesome.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yep.
What's funny is we was one night at Las Brisas Steakhouse, and this little girl comes up and says, are you famous? And he goes, oh, no, I'm not famous. And he's thinking this young girl, you know, thinks he's famous. She goes, oh, yeah, my dad was wanting a picture of you. So I thought, you know, well, that's kind of took the air out of his bubble a little bit. So she got a picture of him and all and sent it to her dad. But I thought that was kind of comical. So
That's funny.
Has there been a moment where y'all have been just starstruck by someone coming in where it's like, oh my God, they're here?
not really.
Not really. I don't really get that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not.
It was pretty cool. Willie was here. I mean, but we didn't get to really meet him or nothing because he
No.
was, you know, pretty precautious of not getting sick or anything. But I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, there's been some cool shows
Pretty
and stuff
iconic.
for sure, but I don't know. Nothing that I can really like.
No, I mean I think it's pretty cool to get to meet the artist. A lot of them. And
You
all,
do, you
so.
do like never know too, like who's gonna walk through the door. Like
Yeah.
there's been random people of like, oh, I'm so and so, or I do this, or I do that, and you're like, oh wow, or you see someone like, oh, that's that one guy that does that, or you know, you never know like who's gonna come busting
Well, it's
through
like
the
pretty
door.
cool. Yesterday, John Hovis from Hemi Hideout come through. You know, I'd met him before at Robbie's show up in East Moline, and super nice guy. And if you've ever got online, look up Hemi Hideout. His place is immaculate.
Yeah, it's insane.
beautiful. He's got Hemi cars. You know,
He has a bunch of
Oh.
Mopar cars and tons
Oh,
of
it's just-
neons, and it's like this huge wood frame, like timber
Beautiful
building.
structure.
It's awesome.
and he's got the best of the best. I mean, he collects A1 signs. I mean, that's his deal. He's pristine. Everything's beautiful, and he's such a super nice guy. So
Yeah,
that was pretty cool for him. He's got a grandson going to Tech, and so he said it's an excuse to come up here, and he come and hung out for a little bit. And Trevor gave him a tour. I was on the road coming back, but I visited with him a little while. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you never know who's gonna roll through.
I think it's cool when they fly.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
what?
People fly in.
Yeah, so the airport's just right there.
Yeah,
the
Lubbock Executive Airport.
Lubbock
or whatever.
Executive, and
They land.
People fly in all the time and they'll come eat dinner or whatnot.
And then we have helicopters. People come in
Helicopters,
with helicopters.
like I
They'll
know
land
part
out here. They'll call, hey, can we land? Like, come on.
like Forey Smith and Wilder, them they flew in one day on a big helicopter from which Forey's on Yellowstone.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know who's gonna come rolling through.
Yeah, we pull in, there's a Yellowstone truck in the parking lot. I'm like, who's here? It's
yeah,
some of the guys that work at the ranch, you know?
But yeah, they like cruise in on
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
cruise in on a helicopter and eat lunch. Helicopters come all the time though. There's a
Yeah,
few here
pretty
and there.
cool. So,
But yeah, I don't know.
you never know. You don't know what you're walking into some days.
What do you guys have planned next? Is there something in the works that you're like, you know what, I want to work towards this. This is what I want to get going.
Not really. I mean,
Not really. At one point, I wanted to cover this whole thing out here above the stage, but
still would like to, but
we still might. It's just the money of it and to make it all make sense.
well,
is-
getting the engineering,
The
logistics, and
engineering.
everything of it right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but we
Cover
want
it
to
where we
do
do the
it.
rodeo.
Cover it, do the rodeo, but then like I want to put more suites like up above and like down across the back. I think it'd be cool. But the problem is to get it all engineered right to go over the stage and
Such
like,
a big
there's gonna be a
span.
huge like jack beam and like it's gonna
We don't want to jeopardize the front of the stage either.
Yeah, we don't
And
wanna
that's what they're wanting to put
take-
big beams and all because for
take
structure.
away from the view. So there's a lot of engineering. We haven't really like pushed it too hard, but
Yeah.
maybe one day.
I think our A1 goal is to survive.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Just hit it as it comes.
And then yeah, I mean we always need more parking, so it's always a thing.
What's probably the max capacity of people you can hold?
We've done like 13,500 ish, but
I think we
I'd-
could do 15,000
we
out
could
in
do
front of
50,
stage.
we could do 15 pretty easily. The whole thing is that people don't realize is like
The parking.
we got for one parking, but then we have two main gates to get people in. Because over here, in front of the restaurant, you're talking like maybe 1,000 people tops, and that's if they all ride together. 800 if
Was there 400 parking spots
we've got
out here?
400 cars, so it's not like this doesn't really account for much. Like basically like VIP and some staff or whatever. But over there, like we have two gates, so we have to the logistics of getting everyone in at the time is the whole thing. And like obviously there's ways to do that to make it work, but that's been the whole issue mainly. And two is I think like when we first started all this, Lubbock is like a late night or like a late. They're like, oh well, when they would never get here early. They would like, oh, the band goes on at 9. We're gonna get there at
8:45.
8:50. You know what I mean? But they finally they've realized how we work and how they work, how things are like. But also too, there's not anything that big. There's never been anything this big in Lubbock that can really handle that many people. Besides like the football stadium, Jones Stadium,
Well,
which
even the
they
United Spirit
renamed.
Arena, they have
It's-
so many entrances and doors and all. I mean, it's different.
So it's a little bit different. So it's like the logistics of everything to make it all work. But now people have started to realize like, oh, we better get there early to get a good spot and all that stuff. So it's always better whenever they show up early because then it's like not as a big of a rush. But there has been some times like some concerts, some big concerts that we've had to like push back like 10 or 15 minutes to get everyone in the gate.
Because they've been so late.
People are late. But it's just like we tell people to come early, but and at some point it's not really our fault either. But we always try to like cater to the people, if that makes sense. But
I think y'all did a great job this year with Cotton Fest. I know I for one appreciated how much water y'all had.
yeah.
You know, how do y'all have, how do you decide how much water, how many porta potties,
We just
for how many people?
Guess.
dude, so that's like all been a learning experience, man. Like, so I'm usually the one that like puts what here and there, and like,
Well, we'll go back and look and see. Now, certain show, how many people was there, and how much of this do we sell? How many porta johns do we have? How long?
and
were the
sometimes I'll
lines,
ask, sometimes I'll ask like my porter, Jason, the handy can guy. I'm like, so I had about 10,000 people here, and there was this many. Were those things like super full? And
Yeah.
And so, because you can kind of
How
tell,
many
like,
phones did you find in them?
yeah, oh, dude, they find like phones, wallets, money, like all sorts
Keys.
of shit, keys. like,
After was the first Cotton Fest, he come in that big old bag, a big old plastic bag full of stuff. And we're like, what is that? And he goes, oh, it come out of the Porta Johns, and it
Yeah.
was filled. He said,
After
"You
that,
keep
I
it,
was
don't
like,
want it."
after that, like, dude, just throw that shit away. I was like, if it's money, clean or do whatever y'all want with it, but otherwise,
I'm out. Don't bring them to me
we don't.
again.
That's like they shouldn't have lost their shit in there. But yeah,
Oh, and the lady that
well, let's not talk. Let's not talk about that one. There's too much.
the lady
Well-
dipped her arm in there to get her stuff out.
Yeah, that's a whole deal.
So that was a pretty big
But-
ordeal.
That's the whole thing is like when we first started this, it's like it's kind of hard to judge on like even how much beer to buy, like when we're selling beer, or how much alcohol to buy. Like
no,
we
no
don't-
idea.
Because it's hard, and two is like if you
And
don't
you got to
sell
gauge
it,
the weather. If it's cool, they're not going to drink
yeah,
as much. If it's
and
hot,
that's a
they
whole
drink
nother
more.
thing is too is you can tell like by the weather what people are gonna drink or not. So if it's cold, they ain't gonna drink that much, and they'll drink like more whiskey or vodka or something. But if they won't drink beer like you think,
It's hard to figure out the volume of everything.
From looking back from all the years, has there ever been a show that stood out where it was, holy shit, this is a rowdy crowd?
Treaty Oak.
probably true. Well,
Co.
like Co Wetzel's and Treaty Oak shows.
Yeah, that's our two. I mean, we love them.
They're the rowdiest.
They're the rowdiest.
But like I think honestly, I think Treaty Oak show is rowdier than any of the Co ones ever. But
Dexter
it's-
and the Moon Rocks was pretty wild the other
Yeah,
day.
for Cotton Fest, but that was like that was expected, but it wasn't that bad
No, but it was
compared
good.
to. But like Treaty Oak, they like, I mean,
Boomtown, when it goes
when
off.
Boomtown
the
goes off, like
beer
it's
and
wild.
cans
And
go
like the whole
flying.
thing is we don't even care if you throw or like sling your beer ever. It's just that
Don't throw the can.
just don't throw the can. But the problem is like these assholes will throw full beer cans at
Yeah.
like up in the air, and then it's like smoking people in the back of the head, and like that's when it becomes a liability on our end or
If
whatever.
you're in the
but-
pit, you know you're going to get wet with beer. If
That's
it's
just
certain
part of
bands.
it.
That's fine, but you don't expect to get hit in the head with a full beer can.
Yeah,
That's our deal. And really during Cotton Fest, I think more of it was the free water they was slinging than the beer.
yeah. They slung a
Because
lot
I
of
stood
free
out there
water.
for a little while, and I was wet, but I didn't smell like beer. It was just the
Yeah,
water.
they were slinging
And
waters,
that's fine.
which who cares? Like, and like that, we just buy a couple pallets of water and just hope it works. But like,
Yeah. Just give 'em
ice.
water, 'cause-
So ice is our big problem all the time.
Yeah.
Like we've ran out of ice. We've had too much ice. It never
we're-
ends.
After the festival, or even like when we had Red Clay and Zach Top night back to back, you're like, oh my God, we used all the ice last night. We got to have more ice, And we're scrambling the next morning, calling United, and everybody trying to. Kent, Misty's husband, brother-in-law, he's the ice guru. He always knows somebody he can call and con it. Hey, I need a couple
He
pallets.
drinks.
Of
He
ice.
drinks at the grocery store quite
Yeah, yeah.
often. So he has all the hookups. He knows all the people.
Yeah. So he
So-
usually he'll run. Take a trailer over there and get 2 pallets. They got you figured out. So.
But yeah, that's like something people don't realize. Like, we have this ice trailer that's a nightmare to keep running all the time, and it's just
semi-reefer trailer.
It's a semi-reefer trailer, but
When you got 8 pallets of ice, you got to have somewhere big to put it.
yeah,
So.
that's just shit that people don't think about.
Yeah, and then you're out there with a SkyTrack and a strap trying to pull them to the back and get them out, and nobody else can drive it, and they're like, I need somebody to drive the forklift.
Or someone parked behind the trailer, and there's
Yeah.
cars in the way. And
Like,
I've
moved
moved.
the cones in park.
I've moved several cars with forklifts
Yeah.
before.
So,
Is what it is.
yeah.
We didn't tow them. At least didn't mess anything up.
They don't have no clue. They forget
No,
where they
they
park anyway.
don't know where they parked it anyways. So, but yeah.
Cool guys, we're about there. Is there any events coming up that y'all are super excited for y'all want to talk about?
Co again. I'm always fired up on Co.
Co's gonna be a party. The rodeos are always
Rodeos.
a
All the
shit
work, but they're
show.
good.
Rodeos are a ton of work, but it always turns out fun. I think that Gavin Adcock show will be cool.
I think Gavin will be good.
Hardy's
Yeah, I'm
coming
fired
up.
Yeah, Hardy.
So I don't know. It just go day by day with us, honestly. Cool. Thanks.
Sounds good. Good to go. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Y'all need it.